Hello, everyone, and welcome back to We Know Love Island here on RHAP. Today, we are talking about the finale of Love Island Beyond the Villa, Season 1. I'm, of course, Kirsten MacInnis, joined as always by the great Brian Scally. Scally, how are you?
Hello. I am good. I'm excited to be here talking about the finale that kind of also just felt like any other episode of the show, not super finale-esque, but nonetheless interested to talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, maybe what we would want from a season 2, and do all that later.
Exactly. So, we might as well just get into it because
Let's.
we kind of ended last week. So, they're in Miami for Miami Swimwear Fashion Week. It was I feel like it kind of ended just abruptly in the middle
Yeah.
of the trip.
To the
Um,
point where we were like, okay, so I guess the whole finale is going to be in Miami, which is a little weird, but it's not unlike some of these lifestyle shows, namely a Housewives. Often it's like you want to end with your big moment, so maybe it's on the trip, maybe there's a fight, that's like the one, and we're out of here, see you next season. So to see back in Miami, that all made sense.
yes. And so first we had basically everyone's gonna go hang out at Serena's like penthouse that she has because she has the nicest spot out of anyone. We get like Liv going to Janae and Kenny's room to confirm like what are we wearing, what's going on. And it's literally everyone's meeting at Serena's. They're gonna eat and then they're going to the
Yeah.
beach. So I really don't like
This was
wear
not
a bikini.
necessary. Yeah.
Wear
Feels like pretty easy. A bikini and anything over it that you want.
yeah, pretty
Like
much.
literally anything.
And we also Liv also was like Miami is so much like home in Australia, and I love it so much. I'm like, okay, so if it's just like home, you probably know what to wear. I don't know.
Fair enough. Are we doing glam? Because that is a point of contention. But otherwise,
That would have been a very funny callback.
yes, exactly. So it was good. Everyone's coming in waves. Leah's not feeling well, so she's going to stay home. But otherwise, pretty much everyone is going to show up at the moment.
Yeah, and it's first like all the men are showing up. And Serena's like, yeah, and they're all like, oh my God, your space is so good. It has an upstairs. Like, I barely have a bedroom. Like, really calling out. You can see who won the show, which we did talk about last week. Uh,
Mhm.
and then literally, she's like, oh, finally, a girl. And they're like, it's going to be Kenny. She's like, but Janae is with him.
That's how I would also react if Janae and Kenny showed up. Much more excited for one of them.
Well,
But
yes. Even at
regardless,
the time.
exactly. Everyone trickles in. You have Liv, you have Kendall, Kaylor shows up. It's going to be a good little group. They end up outside on the balcony, which is almost just as impressive as the inside of the house.
Yep. Huge. It's like they're at Liv's house in LA again.
Exactly. That is true. Why did Liv have the big one there? But Aaron has a bet on what goes down at this particular balcony.
Yeah, Aaron's mind goes straight to orgies, which is not
Uh-huh.
necessarily where my mind goes when I see a large outdoor space, but Aaron's a freak, I guess.
Yeah, freaky Aaron, not on my bingo card. I feel like, yeah, the man explored a little in Casa, but to jump immediately to like, how many orgies do you think they've had out here? Like, I don't know, it's pretty in view of the beach.
It's like pretty public. Like I do like it's technically the privacy of a hotel room or a suite, but like I think you could pick up like a public indecency charge
Yeah.
based on the proximity to the beach.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Um,
at nighttime. I did not like when he started putting percentages of what that pool is actually still water.
No, I wasn't even going to bring that up
Nope.
on the podcast, but here we are.
Nope.
And okay, this is where we find out they're going to the beach with Cassidy. Now you might be wondering who is Cassidy? Allegedly, Cassidy was on Love Island USA season
She
6.
was.
They showed a
I
couple clips.
When they said Cassidy's going to meet us, I will admit that I was like, who the hell is Cassidy? And then when I went back and Serena was very comically like, who did Cassidy pair up with? They flash back to she went on a date with Miguel, but really she paired up with Rob for a little bit, and she was just a consequence of, you know, the meddling that went on there of Rob or Cassidy or Leah, or, you know, our fan votes probably sent her home, but she was a nice girl who just got like no time.
They showed us clips of her on Love Island USA season 6, and I'm still like, was she there? I do not remember her.
You're accusing it of being AI.
It could be. I don't know. I know that people do be making Love Island AI content, so it could be fake.
Okay.
But I don't know. I feel like if she was bad, we would remember her more. So it's actually good. Like she's
Yeah.
just a nice girl that was on
She
Love
was
Island.
was she the person where no one stood behind her? Do you
Scally,
remember?
do not ask me a point blank question on
I
the
just like I
spot.
know the moment and I can't remember. I think it was. So you know, again, a nice girl, but what are you really gonna do? Now,
No.
unfortunately, we do have a pretty tough moment here also. Kenny ends up getting a call where he steps away. He's going to talk to his dad. And so we find out that Kenny has his brother Gabe, who is his stepbrother. He's known since he was 11. And his brother Gabe, I believe, has epilepsy. So he has had seizures in the past. But this is by far the worst, where he finds out that he is in the ICU. He's intubated. He's unconscious after a series of seizures. And that's really, really hard news.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was really tonally tough because obviously this really heavy thing is happening and it's just juxtaposed by with this Miami Beach vacation and
Yep.
everyone kind of laughing and having a good time. And Kenny is really upset naturally as anybody would be. And Janae is like, "Where's Kenny? I'm going to go check on him." And she comes out and she's so just sweet. She's holding him. She's saying she's sorry and she loves him. And something I really, really like about Janae is how like she doesn't give platitudes. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people in that situation would maybe feel inclined to be like, everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay, which like doesn't necessarily make someone feel better about a bad
Yeah.
situation because like you can't promise that it will be okay. Um but she's really good being there for him. She's taking him upstairs to have some alone time and like they'll meet up with everyone later. And Kayla's like, you guys okay? Janae says, "Oh, Kenny's dealing, with some family stuff. You of all people, like, definitely understand that." And this is where it started kind of weird for me, where I was like, Kayla, why are you going with them? Like, they obviously want to be alone because he's going through
It's
something. And she's like, "Do you want to talk about it?" I'm like, "What? It just happened. Like, it feels fast." But then Kenny's like, "I want to pray about it." And Kaylor stands there and prays with him and Janae. And it was really beautiful in the end. When it started, I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. And then it was
See,
beautiful.
I thought it was nice all around. It's not as if they were like Kenny and Janae were walking to their room and Kaylor like stumbled upon them. Like they were in the same spot, I believe, that he got the call. So it's not as if she just like latched on to, she stumbled across them, she checked on them. Are you okay? Once they say, like, here's a family emergency going back on at home. Like if she was just like, oh, bye, like that would have been really weird. So it was
True.
better that she's like, do you want to talk about it? Like, if you don't, like, okay, so like she didn't say what happened. Tell me, like, she
Yeah,
checked in.
you make a
So
good point. It felt a little strange at first watching it, but it ended beautiful and you make a very good point. If she had just walked away being like, "Well, and screw them, I don't care." That's weird.
awkward, like that would have been crazy. Yeah. So I did think it was cute. She gets there, Janae leads them in prayer, and so all of that ended up coming together. Obviously, as the episode goes on, we do get continued updates. They do stay for right now because they happen to be in Florida and Miami. Kenny's family, I believe, lives in Orlando, so in theory they could just jump right in a car and go, but there's no real like change anything right now. They're telling him it's fine, like his sister's there, they're gonna figure it out later. He does eventually go see him, he gets better, and we do get word that he's out of the hospital by the end of the episode.
Yes. And I was very glad to hear that.
Yeah, and they're like texting and he seems good, expected like a full recovery, so very, very happy for the update. Because I feel like not everything is quite followed up on Love Island beyond the villa.
Well, yeah, and like you can't just not follow up with a medical
I would
emergency.
hope so.
I'll be sitting there stressing. Like, is he okay? I don't know this man, but I'm worried
Mhm.
his health and is he okay?
Oh, for sure. So glad that they did go through with that. Otherwise, shifting back, like you said, tonally a little odd, but I
Yeah.
feel like that's probably what it was in the moment, similar to how Kaylor was like, I don't want to sit at home and just do nothing. I want to be here. And it's kind of hard for her. Kenny's also coming back to the beach where we have, like, at first, just Aaron, Kendall, Connor, and Liv going down, but eventually everyone
And
joins. The big beach hang.
what a weird group of people. Like Aaron, Kendall, Connor, and Liv at the beach.
It makes
What
complete sense to me.
what do they even have to talk about?
This feels very much like the non-PPG group. It makes sense. You're just missing Kaylor.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. It just feels it just seems odd. It's not necessarily a group I'd want to be chilling with without any of the others. Aaron is putting lemon juice in his hair so that he can get a little sun in action going, and I just want to say, do not do this.
So why? I knew of the hack for a long time, and then I've known that it's not necessarily the move anymore. But do you know why?
Well, it's the kind of thing where like if you ever want to actually use like proper hair products to adjust the color, having used like the lemon juice hack could impact your results.
Ah,
But the big reason is like when you're just putting straight lemon juice in your hair, it's probably also getting on your scalp. You might get some on your face. And the vitamin
mm,
C in lemon juice, like vitamin C makes your skin more reactive to UV. And so you can get like huge chemical burns from it.
that's
And you
tough.
could get that on your scalp if you're just putting lemon juice in your hair. And I've had a sunburn on my scalp and it doesn't feel good. So I cannot imagine that a lemon juice induced chemical burn would feel any better.
Damn. Okay, well, I was gonna go blonde, but I guess that's it for my dreams.
Like it's
So
I mean, even if you want to do a similar thing, they literally make a product called Sun In. It
yeah,
costs like $5 at the drugstore. It's still not the best thing to do if you want to color your hair blonde, but like it's better than a straight lemon.
by quantity, I feel like it's probably more economical to buy Sun In than it is to buy a whole bunch of lemons every time.
Lemons are one of those like sneaky cheap groceries,
Yeah, but how
but
many do you have to have in
yeah,
order to use a whole bottle of Sun In?
you're not wrong. But I mean, maybe you have like one of those big juice, like the stainless steel
Possible.
juicers, which are like going kind of viral right now on TikTok. You get more juice out of each
It's true.
lemon.
It's true.
I low key want one of those now because of watching the videos, but it's like I don't need that.
Regardless, this is when Cassidy does come. She's there. We basically didn't need them to tell us that she was, though. They don't use
Yeah,
her at all.
she got less attention than Kendall's friends at their what's it, ranch house? Is that what it's
You're saying
called?
Kyle Richards' children, or
Yeah,
Kendall's other friends? Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And here's the thing: I'm never gonna remember that it's Kyle Richards' children. But yeah, she was on Love Island Beyond the Villa about to the same extent she was on Love Island season 6.
Unfortunate for her. We'll see if season 2 has her playing any bigger part.
Well, because it seems like she's close, like with the other girls, or at least like on good terms and speaking with them. So I wouldn't be
But
surprised if she's someone who kind of gets in there. And you know what?
Chandler and Aaron can't bring all the season for next season, all the drama for next season too.
They're never
We
going to
need
see
some more of the
Kirsten and
dramas.
Scally.
We'll see.
Um, I have a lot of respect for her though, because like she could have fake dated Connor to get
Yeah,
on the show, and she did not do that.
it's
So
true.
a lot of respect for that. Uh we also so on the beach, first of all, Kayla's beach outfit is so cute. She's just got her bikini and she's these like little like kind of crochet shorts, and it's an extremely cute. I saw a TikTok recently of her, like she had posted the video she took before she went to Love Island, where she was like,
Oh.
I spent $3,000 on clothes and like I could be home in a week. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm done shopping now, but like, I don't know. I think I went crazy. She dressed the whole villa all summer
Yeah.
long.
Yep.
So it makes sense to me that she
Yep.
had a very cute fit. But yeah, so she it's she's choosing to apologize to Aaron, but the way she maneuvers herself into a conversation with Aaron made me laugh really hard. So Aaron and Connor are like kind of like throwing a ball and using a bat. I
Mhm.
hesitate to say they're doing anything baseball or softball related because I don't think it's a regulation bat or that they're doing anything well. But she like basically says she played softball. She grabs the bat from Connor. Well, no, she catches the ball that Aaron has thrown to
Okay.
Connor. Then she takes the bat from Connor. Then she like does where you like throw the ball and like hit it yourself, but like hits it very badly away from everything. And then now she's in a conversation with Aaron and baseball time's over. Sorry, Connor, go sit on a chaise
Yeah.
lounger.
She told Connor to fetch. Like, go get the ball. Okay, I need to have a conversation. The adults are talking, Connor. It is not the most productive conversation. It starts out well. Kayla's going to apologize to Aaron. She acknowledges she should not have brought Aaron into it. That's really like what made everything pop off at Cordell's birthday dinner. So at least that was good. She was also going to bring up Saddle Ranch, but then Aaron starts throwing a couple jabs.
He's not happy. He's
No.
like, you made yourself look stupid because you accused me of being jealous and I was just trying to be normal and pleasant.
Look, he was meeting Torin for the first time. He pretty much kept his distance. I will say that Aaron did act pretty normal for the most part. Uh Given, I would say Beyond the Villa has been Aaron's best behavior, at least if you don't look any deeper. I think that if you start poking holes, you can see like, is there a little bit of that like same Villa Aaron that I knew, where he's just saying a couple things that might be not exactly as they were.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of old Aaron pop out here. Just a little.
Ooh, say more.
Just like she's trying to apologize for one situation to you and you are now twisting it to talk about a different situation that you are upset about. Like it felt very the redirect felt kind of old Aaron-esque and like
Okay.
I'm not saying he hasn't had any growth in the past year or anything like that. I do think that sometimes when people are upset, they lean on kind of a few strategies when they're in a like a
Okay.
conflict, and I think that he's leaning on kind of the redirect a little bit. I don't think it's like demon horrible, like worst person in the world or anything like that, but I did just kind of remind me a little bit of some of those old red flags, though of course not the worst ones.
Yeah.
And he also is bringing up like, well, things that you said at paddle tennis, like Torn wouldn't have appreciated that. Like you said you're catching feelings for me, and Killer's like, what do you say what you need to say, but like I'm done with
Yeah.
this. Torn and I's relationship is at a very different point now than what it was at paddle tennis. Like, get out of
I think
here.
that's fair. I think that it's the type of thing that like Torrin still would not have been thrilled, where Aaron's like, hey, totally understand if you need somebody. We've like reconnected as friends. If you want to come hang, Kaylor allegedly says, I don't know if that would be a good idea because I would catch feelings for you because I already am. Now, there's been quite a few times where Aaron has told us Kaylor has said things off camera, and otherwise we've totally believed it. I think here I still mostly believe it again, unfortunately, for Kaylor. I think it's probably going to give her a little bit of grace and say it's slightly exaggerated or misheard. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't I bought that she tried to kiss him. I would buy that she even said something adjacent to like I'm catching feelings for you. I
Yeah.
think I could see her saying something of like, it's dangerous for me to go to your house
Mhm.
alone because like of our history, like you never know what could happen. I don't know if I believe that she said I am catching feelings for you.
Yeah. I could see her being like, I don't know if that's a good idea. Like, don't want me catching feelings for you or anything, Aaron. So, like, the retells are always tough. You don't know the tone that it was told in. if she does go ahead and say like I am catching feelings for you, well then I understand why he feels like this is a little messy and complicated. But without having seen it on camera, I can't fully, condemn anything anyway.
Yeah, and again, like, they are in a very different place. Like, Torrin and Kayla are in a very different place than they were at paddle tennis. So it's also like, whatever happened at paddle tennis is kind of irrelevant because they went to paddle tennis and then actually, wait, is my timeline correct? They went to paddle tennis and then Aaron left the country and then Kayla went home to Pennsylvania and then they kind of came back together. And by that point, she was really dating Torrin.
I think when they flashed back, it said 2 weeks ago. So things have moved fast. There's been a lot of events going on.
Yeah.
I do think that some people have been like kind of quick that she's dating Torrin all of a sudden. I don't think it's that quick. I think it's fine. But she does try to say, Aaron, like, how kind of you not to bring up the paddle tennis thing at Saddle Ranch because you were looking out for me. But now that my life is kind of upside down with the passing of my grandma, now all of a sudden you're throwing it in my face.
Yeah. And also, like, I'm sorry. We're just now getting used to all these people who are like, I won't be dating someone 3 months, 6 months. Yep. You're not my girlfriend. So you know what? I actually have a lot of respect for people that are like, I like you. You like me. We're together. Like, I am actually like, that's fine. I think 2 weeks is a fine amount of time for that to happen.
For sure. Well, 2 weeks since it had already been in development before that anyway.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. For it to go from more of a situationship to an actual relationship, 2 weeks is great. You don't want to be lingering in no man's land for too long. Like, yeah, come on.
The thing is that the producers do give Aaron a lot of screen time in the confessional booth. He really is one of the biggest narrators on Love Island Beyond the Villa. And so he does start to tell us that he thinks Kayla is a little bit of a hypocrite because she's throwing this in his face. But when his grandfather died 10 months ago, she claimed she was going to be there for him. And then other things got in the way. He says she wasn't there for him in the same way, which I feel like earlier in the season, this didn't come up as being an issue. So I'm a little confused.
But it's also like the context is important right now, right? Where it's like Kayla's grandma just died. Yep. Her and Aaron had just recently fixed like a friendship. They have not been dating. They have not talked in months and months and months. And they're kind of fixing their relationship a little bit to then be in a place where he can support her a little bit. When we rewind a year ago to when his grandpa died, like, yes, that is horrible. I feel so bad for him. And it sucks that it sucks for him that he feels that Kayla didn't support him as much as he wanted her to. But this was also right when he had just cheated on her, lied to her, gaslighted her, and she found out about it after the fact, not from him, until he decided to expose his lies in the reunion on TV without giving her the respect of a proper private conversation. So it's like, what support is she going to give you when she just finds out you've betrayed her in so many ways? Like, how is that going to even be productive? Like, I think the context is really important, and he's kind of doing the little redirect here. Or it's like,
I agree. I think that we've given Aaron like a lot of leeway on the show this season, and I think that we've accepted like, okay, maybe he has grown, but I do want to question if Aaron chose not to chase the same lifestyle as everyone else 100% of it, or was that kind of forced upon him by his own actions, and that people were probably not following Aaron as much. Brand deals probably didn't want to partner with Aaron right after Love Island. And so I think that it's good what he's done with it, and I'm glad that he took the time away. But just because someone told you that they've changed doesn't mean that they've changed as much as they're saying.
If Aaron had the opportunities to go on brand trips and live this lifestyle that the others are living, he would have taken it. Love Island USA was his second show. He wanted the attention, he wanted the spotlight, and he would have continued pursuing that had he not gotten such a negative blowback due to his own actions, like the things he said and did resulted in him getting less of a following than the rest of the cast. And again, agree with you completely that he pivoted, and like what he's done based on that negative perception is good. And I hope that he and maybe he always would have eventually realized that he doesn't want the
Sure.
influencer life, right? Like he could have pursued it and then he would have found out he didn't like it. But he didn't get the opportunity to pursue it to the same extent of everyone else because, again, of his own words and actions. And then he gets up on his high horse, acting like he's better than the rest of them. I think that is a little bit, it's a little extreme to basically be like, Kaylor used to want to help kids in need, and now she goes on brand trips and does all these deals. And it's like, well, things change when you have different opportunities and different options.
That's I think that like even if he did have all, because I'm sure that there are some brands that would work with him, some social medias that would like really want to raise his platform. And so I don't think it's that there's no opportunities, but I think Aaron had a really negative experience with social media, so it's impossible not to factor that into his view of social media as a career. I think he thinks he has been forced to really confront what is generally accepted by many to be true, that like social media is not real life. It is potentially hollow for some people and yada yada yada. And Aaron is copying and pasting that from his own realizations to every single person's, and saying that just because they're doing social media doesn't mean that they don't have similar feelings. Like some people could hate doing the social media thing but realize that they hate it less than doing other things. So it doesn't mean that they don't have similar thoughts to you.
Yeah, like the amount of money that you can make to make yourself comfortable is a huge factor. And we get Kaylor talking later this episode about her dreams of moving to New York and how like she's never even had the opportunity or the income sufficient to move to New York, even to live in a tiny apartment with a bunch of roommates in just a bedroom, right? And so like money opens doors, and this career has provided them with the income to have different doors open to them that they maybe would not have been able to consider in the past. Especially Kaylor. Like Kaylor comes from like a very like normal, I would say, like from everything.
I don't know her financial history.
Well, yeah, like we don't know the financials, but from every indication and from what she says, it seems like they're like a pretty normal, like middle class situation where like it doesn't sound like they were poor. We don't know if they were or not, but like it would not have set her up to go like immediately move to New York kind of vibes. And so I can understand why someone then takes the opportunities that allow them to chase the dreams they thought were dead before they started. And it's really, it's not cute the way Aaron is saying it. Because again, he applied for reality TV twice. That to me indicates someone who wants that attention, wants that, probably was pursuing social media and had to take a hard pivot.
I think there can be things that are true. Like he remembers the Kaylor that was like bubbly and had fun at the beginning of the season and wanted to eventually go and help kids. And now he feels like she's off of that path and he thinks it's clout chasing. Now I think, could Kaylor like live out this dream and then put the like go helping kids and or being a teacher or whatever she wants to do on the back burner and use her platform to make money now to support her dream later? Like potentially. We don't know exactly all of those motivations because she did not get the chance to respond to them as he's speaking to confessional.
Exactly. And like she could be using the money she makes from influencing to donate to causes, right? Like we don't know. So it's just kind of I did not like Aaron's vibe in this episode. We've been pretty positive on him all season long, but this one was a little bit like, you lost me here.
I'm not like out like I was at the end or during times of Love Island 6 with Aaron, but like if he's on season 2 of Beyond the Villa, that's fine. I'm willing to just start over with Aaron, but I would say I was less positive than I have been at other times.
Yes, I agree completely. He's shown growth, which is great to see. So it's not as bad as end of last season. For sure. We do get the conversation ends and Kaylor talks to Kendall a bit, and Kendall's like, listen, I get it. You do not have to be friends with your ex. Like, I'm like, you're not together. It's awkward. And Kaylor's like, yeah, I don't have any more energy to waste on Aaron, and we should have just kept our distance this entire summer because this is just ridiculous.
Which is so funny because Kendall is like, I totally understand it. Like, just like me and Nicole, I don't want to put all my energy into that. And I was like, we were just talking about how flirty the vibes were. It was like, it doesn't seem like it's exactly the same thing, but I
I
could
mean,
understand. I don't want to continue this relationship, even if it was fine for a day.
well, and that's the thing too. Like, Kaylor and Aaron have also had flirty vibes, right?
True.
And that doesn't mean that they should pursue a
True.
relationship, right? And then Aaron's talking to Connor about this. And he's like, I just do not want to be in a situation where I'm around my ex all the time. Like, I don't know Kaylor anymore. And Connor, I think actually, I liked what he said of like, when you guys get too close together, you just collide and you
Yep.
need to keep a safe distance to both like protect your own selves. I'm not often gonna give Connor a compliment, but I did like what he said there.
Yeah, I will say after this whole scene, we get smash cut back in LA. I really had to figure out exactly where they were to
Yeah.
ground. We really don't see a whole bunch of them. Well, we see literally none of them together, but we only see Kaylor one more time, really, I believe, when she is with having a scene with Torin. It is her and Torin. They were invited to Aaron's birthday party, but it's kind of just, why would we go to that? It's over. They're probably never going to see each other again, according to them.
It's done. Yeah, Aaron invited her to the birthday party to meet his mom and grandma. Is that is
Yep.
that who was there? Yeah, like, which I think is just kind of weird. Based on how it was left in Miami, it feels odd that he's like, I think it would be good for you to meet my mom and grandma.
It is nice that he extended the invite, given that it seems like he invited every single other cast member.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be super honest in that, what the hell is this finale where we don't have every cast member at the same spot? There should have been a mandatory event. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, we had a Love Island party in the beginning that I assume was mandatory. Whether it be Aaron's birthday party or we throw something else, you have to come. This is part of your contract. In at least every other episode, there is something you have to be at. There is no option.
Yes.
And so it was annoying where we didn't get most of the cast together in any scenes this episode, really. Even though they were at the beach, they barely interacted.
Yeah, it was very odd. Like, even like Leah and Miguel show up at the beach, but Leah's just really like, yeah, I'm not feeling well. I tried to throw up, but I couldn't. So then I'm like,
Yep.
oh, was she was hungover? Is that what was going
Maybe.
on there?
Who
Sounds
knows?
like things I attempt when I am feeling hungover. Can't really speak for her. I don't know her life. Um, and yeah, like this is where like Aaron's like, well, I said that Torrin could come to the birthday party too. Liv is gonna do an Australian magazine cover, and she wants to get into
Oh
fashion.
yeah.
She talks about staying in LA, which, spoiler alert, she's not staying in LA. I believe she just moved to Seattle not very long ago.
Oh.
So
Who knew? I did not know
still
this.
West Coast, still West Coast. Liv is one of those Love Island people who I maybe once a month I will get one of her TikToks. Like,
Okay.
it's not frequent, but I get an occasional update on her life.
Like, good for Liv. She's doing the Australian magazine cover. She wants to get into fashion. She wants to stay. I can kind of see Liv in this world. Like, I don't think it makes sense for everyone. I think uh, Kaylor might be better suited for New York. Maybe she's, going to figure it out elsewhere. But I can see Liv figuring herself out here.
Absolutely. And it does the okay. And we also, so we knew from the start of the season that she was talking to a man, but she wouldn't talk about it on the show.
Yes.
We knew he was an athlete.
Okay.
The suspicion is that she might be dating Dalton Necht, I believe is how you say his last name. And let me just confirm. Yeah, he is a NBA player, and he was on the Lakers last year.
Okay. Okay. I'm looking him up now. Now, they're both young. Let them have fun.
Yeah.
But make him appear on next season.
If she's gonna be on the show, she has to bring her boyfriend. I'm sorry.
Yep. Sorry, you got to bring him. He has to show up to at least one event.
Yeah. And again, this is I don't know if this is confirmed or not, so please take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to have at least a potential face to the name or to the random obscure references.
Yeah, just it's an athlete.
Yeah. There's someone. Like, okay, well, are we gonna meet someone? But otherwise, I would say we also get Kendall, who ends up on a hike with his dad and sister.
Yeah. This felt very strange. It was really just like, here's a quick recap of everything Kendall did on Love Island Beyond the Villa. He took hosting classes, he has some brand deals, he talked to Nicole.
This felt like half finale, half reunion, where it's like wrapping up the season in a cute little bow. I feel like usually you're supposed to do that again at an event that they're all at, that they're having conversations about. But no, it was funny where he's talking to his dad, who he's like, my dad's a man of few words, but then his dad, I think, spoke half of the entire scene. So did not seem short on words here. I thought he gave him some like good advice, which tracked with Kendall.
Yeah, it seemed really nice, and good advice of like, you have to check on yourself as well as like caring for it's the whole like put on your oxygen mask first kind of advice, which is good. So
yeah, which I think
we'll
like
see.
even though you might not have kids, you might not have someone else in the situation that is dependent on you and like needs to be checked on, some people often are just like, need to move forward, need to keep going, I need to, and that is not always the best way.
Yeah, 100%. Love that, and love getting, men talking about mental health in any way on TV is great. Like, that is something that gets neglected, and it's important.
It's true. It's true. I did just see Kendall on one of those like TikTok dating shows where they're like blindfolded asking each other questions.
Oh no.
Yeah, he did get rejected. So hopefully next season, my guy Kendall.
But I'm surprised he wasn't on Netflix Pop the Balloon.
I feel like that's probably coming if he's not under contract preventing him.
Well, it seems like Netflix and Peacock have some issues.
That's true. There's a little bit of beef. Which one is the more highly rated show?
Did you see that Netflix posted it's like a fake billboard picture that's like, you have our permission to tell people Netflix told us we can't.
Yeah. Sorry, can't come to the party tonight. Netflix told me I can't. So
very funny.
My bad.
This is where we get our one scene of the episode where people that are not in a relationship are together, because PPG and PPGM go out for drinks together. And how do you feel about like patio seating where you're in those kind of like couches with like a low table?
I do love a couch. I'd probably no, I like it. I'm not gonna lie. It's very comfortable, especially if we're gonna be there for a while. Let me sink in.
Like, a couch is comfy, but if you're gonna like have even an appy, I feel like it's so like annoying with the coffee table. Like, put me in a booth. I want to be in a booth.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I want my own plate if I'm on a couch. like,
no, you have to.
Yeah, no.
You have to have your own plate. And I'm like, if I'm holding a plate, I will drop it. Like, it's I'm so like, the other day we were like making dinner and I was like assembling my veggie burger and it just fell all on the floor, and that was a whole thing. So
okay.
I maybe I'm just not equipped for this type of seating. But yeah, so they're all just talking about like their days and their plans. We get a lot of Janae and Kenny. Janae's taking Spanish because she wants to be fluent. To which Leah's like, you are fluent. I'm like, well, Leah, do you speak Spanish? Because I don't think you get to determine who's fluent.
Yeah. Apparently, Janae's been working on it, and I think this like shows the level of investment that Janae has had in this relationship the entire time. She wants to make sure that she is able to communicate at all times. She wants to figure this all out. And when the conversation of the Kenny's lease comes up, it's now suddenly kind of like chill Janae. He could renew for 6 months. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think that this to me is evidence that she's kind of seeing some red flags. And that maybe that argument at the anniversary dinner maybe put a little bit of doubt
Interesting.
in her. Or maybe she's like, can't chase him away, have to like
Okay.
let him take his time. I don't, obviously I don't know, but
I wondered if there were some like reassurances made off camera of like, we are working towards this, like, just we got to figure it out. And it was like, okay, you know what? Like, as long as there is, whether it be a timeline, an agreement, or whatever,
yeah.
we can do 6 more months.
And that could be it too.
Yeah.
But
I don't
I
know.
feel like the Janae we saw at the start of the season didn't seem to want to wait 6 more months. So I'm just curious as to what specifically called that. But I mean, we'll see what happens. Leah, you know, her health journey has put things into perspective for her. She knows what she wants to do.
Yeah.
Uh
This was really Leah's like big story of the season, was her health
I,
journey. You what?
yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like if you're struggling with having all these like potential diagnoses and a lot of medical tests, it's kind of hard to focus on the
For
other
sure.
aspects of what would have made this show. So I don't really know what else they could have done. And obviously she wouldn't be able to talk about her upcoming, you know, purchase of
Mm-hmm.
the Skylar perfume company, which by the way, I gave up because it's been sold out on Sephora
Wow.
forever. So I went to the Skylar website and I was like, I'll just buy it here. That's fine.
Okay.
The shipping for one perfume was $50 US to come to Canada.
Whoa.
And I don't think that's her fault. I think that it actually is like you have to pay for more expensive shipping for perfumes in general. But I was like, I can't justify this. So
Okay.
anyway,
Eventually, one day,
it'll come back to Sephora and then I'll be able to give it a try. But
if someone has a
damn,
connect.
I just want this goddamn boardwalk delight. Okay? That's all I want.
Mhm. Yeah. Speaking of figuring things out, we also have Miguel, who's figuring out his visa. It is apparently expiring, which I would not want to be dealing with right now at all. That is not a
No.
fun thing to be dealing with. So him figuring out, does he have to go back to the UK for a little bit? Is he going to be able to get it renewed? Or Janae has another option.
She's like, get married.
Oh, why not?
Just get married. It'd be fine. You could do your ceremony and stuff in a year, but you could get legally married now to like fix it. But it's like, Janae, just if they got married today, that does not mean that he would have like a valid visa immediately. Like he probably would still have to go back to the UK for a little bit to like get a new visa. Like I don't think the US government is like snapping their fingers and giving people visas. I think it's a bit of a process. Having
Oh.
watched several seasons of 90 Day Fiance, I get the sense it takes a long time.
I was going to say, having both been frequent guests on the 90 Day Fiance podcast, we can say it could take like a year to 2 years to get this figured out once they do apply for the K1 visa. So I don't know if this is
Well,
on the table in 2 years. Maybe we should start applying also,
if they get married, it would be a spousal visa, right? Which
which
is
is
a
supposedly
different
harder.
visa, but I think still takes like a long time. So
I've heard it's hard. They say it's harder apparently.
they really just need to know I mean, at least Leah and Miguel have so much just footage of being in love and living their lives. Like, I don't think anyone could say that
That's
it's
fair.
fake relationship. But
Well,
again,
you don't tell that to the internet because lots of people already do.
I refuse to engage with people who think Leah and Miguel aren't real. That's crazy.
Yep. That's the internet. I mean, basically every couple on the internet is going to get that to some degree.
Some people need to go to the hospital, you know? It's just it's the way it is. But yes, and so because Leah and Janae and Miguel and Kenny, I think they were planning to go to Paris, but now Miguel might not be able to go on the Paris trip. Although I don't. Oh, actually, because I guess like he might then need like a different visa because of Brexit to go to the EU from with like a
I mean, if it's
British
a quick trip,
passport.
probably not. But if his visa here is expiring or expired, he would not be able to re-enter. the
Yeah.
so he needs to have that figured out, unfortunately. So that's the issue.
Yes.
Because Leah and Janae have an upcoming, I guess, brand deal trip in France. So they are figuring that out. Otherwise, we have Cordell, who is leaving yet again today. He's here for one more day on Love Island Beyond the Villa. We had bet on a FaceTime appearance for Cordell, so I'm glad that we got to see him in person. But he's been booked for even more work, and Serena herself is going to be going back and forth and even finding a therapist that she can be seeing to deal with some of her anxiety.
I am so proud of her and happy for
Mm-hmm.
her. Comma, but when she says she's finding a therapist and we're 8 episodes into Beyond the Villa and she was talking about how her panic attacks were debilitating or she like was having trouble getting up in the morning, I was like, and now you're looking for a therapist? I would have thought she would have maybe at least hopefully found one by now, but again, it's not always that easy. It's not easy to find a good therapist anyway. Happy that she's pursuing it, but I was floored that
At
she
first,
had not already pursued that.
I was like, did I miss something? Did she say that she's finding a therapist like on location where Cordell is filming so that it would be easier and accessible? But whatever anyone's journey is with therapy, we're glad when they start. So I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, happy for her. Hope that she's doing it. She and also update on Serena. She
Oh.
has been posting TikToks. She was cat sitting Milo. And they're
Oh,
besties now, and Milo
I
comes
love
and
that.
sits on her lap, and she loves him, and
Oh.
they've made great strides.
Good. Good. I'm very glad.
Yeah, made me very happy.
Nice.
That's the only
Other
update I have on Serena.
That's basically PPG for the season. We really don't get a lot else. I'm sure we'll talk about them in the little wrap up at the
Yeah.
end, but that's it really because they do not show up to Aaron's party, basically attended by like only Kenny of PPGM. We have Kendall, no Liv, no Kaylor, Connor's there, but it's slim pickings amongst the Beyond the Villa cast.
Yes, extremely, extremely slim pickings.
Yeah, but don't worry, Aaron's mom is there, and I'm sure she'll be able to tell them all what everyone else was doing because apparently she watches all of their TikToks religiously.
I think that is it. Okay, is it weird that I think that's cute?
I think it's cute too. I feel like you get excited when your family member goes on a show, and it's hard to turn that off sometimes. Like the level of investment that she had to have had when Aaron was on there to then just cut that after the season, that's probably really hard.
Even like, I don't know, if I found out that like your mom was watching like all the podcasters like TikToks and Instagrams, I'd be like, that's so cute. Oh my
Yeah.
god. But then I mean, if I found out my mom was doing it, then I'd be like, don't
Yep.
do that, mom.
Exactly. Because she's watching enough where she's like, "Oh, Kendall, you're getting an espresso martini. You always get espresso martinis." It's like, oh, she knows his drink order just because of TikTok. That's really funny.
I mean, to be fair, Kendall is in fact a basic bitch, so
Yep.
the espresso martini is not a surprise.
Yep. I also love the grandma just completely clocking Kendall when she's like, "Oh, so you guys, you were all on the show. Do you love what it did for you?" I can tell Kendall loves what it did for him. Like, wow, immediately clocked so hard by grandma.
Clocked. Actually, one of the it's wild, but it's kind of cute. Um, Aaron has a conversation with Kenny about the moving in situation, and Kenny's like, I don't know what to do. My brother, like things with my brother put things into perspective for me. Um and then we get a confessional from Aaron where he says, I feel bad for Kenny. I do not think he's as happy as he tries to come across, which I'm like, okay, so Aaron kind of like probably didn't clock the extent of the like deception, but like he could tell something was wrong.
Yeah, that's what I always wonder because I feel like we were watching these through this lens and it's kind of been that case. I just look at whether it be Kenny crying hysterically over Janae or some of the scenes here, and it's just like stuff doesn't add up. It's still weird. Still really weird.
Yeah. It's straight, but this to me just kind of indicated like, so people in the situation could kind
Yeah.
of tell that something was off, and then that
Mhm.
and it makes sense because like from what we know or allegedly know, Janae was suspecting that something was up.
Okay.
And so like this makes sense if like other people were kind of seeing that he wasn't that happy, that she would also kind of clock that he
Sure.
wasn't 100% in.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, but I don't think anybody thought it was what it ended up being.
No, how could you?
But I think it's interesting to see that like some people were seeing that something was going on.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you think about Aaron saying that the show was a real double-edged sword where he never would have met Kaylor if not for the show, but at the same time, the show, mostly things surrounding the show, are what ruined it for them?
well, Aaron, what you did on the show is what ruined it for you. First of all, I think we need to remember like the show can't make up something that didn't happen entirely out of nothing. They can certainly exaggerate things, but like we saw what you did and how you handled it. So we know like it's not the show's fault that you did that. It's your
Yep.
fault that you did that. And this it gave me I'm like, well, like were you holding out hope that you and Kaylor were going to get back together? Like does Aaron think he and Kaylor are endgame?
I mean, he kind of said if you give them enough time, enough space, that he thinks he and Kaylor could live a pretty happy, fulfilling life together. So it kind of feels like he does.
Well, I think that he said some crazy shit about the woman he thinks he could have a happy life with,
Well,
about how she's so horrible now.
I think what it is that he thinks, yeah, the show brought them together and introduced them and also probably put them into forced proximity to a degree in which they would fall in love much more quickly. But his own actions are what caused a lot of the issues. But I think in his mind, if there weren't people constantly reminding Kaylor of those issues, then she would have forgiven those actions. And that's the problem, is instead of self-reflecting that one more step to get there of
Yeah.
why this really was messed up, he has stopped right at, but it's their fault. Like, we're close.
He is approaching the point. He is circling the point, but
Yeah.
he unfortunately doesn't quite land on it. And again, give him some time, I guess. He is still youngish, not as young as Kaylor, but he is still youngish,
Yeah.
right? Or is he is older than
He just
her?
turned 28.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Like late 20s, still not like it's not like he's old, but
Yeah. Yep.
you
Yep.
expect kind of
Yep.
better of late 20s than early 20s normally. I don't know.
We'll see.
Um what did you think about this Kaylor and Torrin hangout?
Eh, it was cute. It was a way to say goodbye to Taylor on the show, but I didn't really get a lot from here. When Torin was like, "Oh, Aaron's birthday party, I would never go to that. I would never go to that. I would never go to that." It's like, okay, well, what if next time Kaylor's like, "We're going to Aaron's birthday party." Are you still gonna never go to that? Because I feel like maybe you shouldn't be making promises when maybe you will go in the future.
Yeah, 100%. And Kaylor says, I tried to say sorry to him. I did as much as I could on that. Like I feel like it's at a good note to leave it at, and I feel like meeting
Is
his
it?
family is inappropriate and like disrespectful to you and kind of sends him mixed signals. So,
Yeah. I
I
think if they were at the point of like actually being friends, she could have met the family and it would have been fine. But being that she had never met the family over the course of when they were dating, and then there's all these accusations of, you tried to kiss me, you said you had feelings for me. He's seemingly talking about how he thinks they could be endgame. That's where it makes a lot more sense of like,
yeah.
this makes no sense to meet up. Why are they doing this? Like, no one else in the whole group is going because of the whole summer. Like, no, they should not go to this.
Yeah, agree. Kaylor made a good decision. So
Yep.
happy. I feel like we've seen a lot of growth from Kaylor. And like not perfect, not in every aspect, but I feel like we've
Sure.
seen growth, and I am happy for her that she'll continue to get the opportunity to
Agreed.
grow and learn as she gets a little older. We do get Janae and Kenny saying goodbye because, of course, she is flying to Vegas, which she also says on the show, like, she lives in Vegas because LA is too expensive. You need double money Like, you need to be double rich to live a comfortable life in LA, and she would rather just be double rich and not have to pay that much to live in Vegas.
Yep. Look, a decent final conversation. I thought they were having like a pretty decently cute dynamic. It made sense, joking about gas prices. Oh, is Kenny really upset? She says he's being dramatic. They're going to go back to seeing each other 2 times a month now, until I think the moment that everyone in the Love Island universe is going to be talking about,
Yes.
the record scratch. 8 weeks later, all of the headlines start popping up. The Instagram post partially blurred. What did you think about how they handled this?
I thought it was good that they showed, like, did the record scratch, showed the headlines, showed the Instagram stories. I think it would have maybe been slightly more impactful to me if they had also shown, like, some of the other Instagram stories. Like, they could have been blurred out, but, like, show that no one's on Kenny's side. Don't make it like, it kind of made it seem like it could be mutual.
I hated this. I think people are going to be really pissed for multiple reasons. The Love Island, when something controversial happens, does sometimes, when it's confirmed out there, there's no disputing, they take action and they remove someone from the villa, they do something like that. Here, did not address any of it. It was just, they end up breaking up. Wink, wink. You know what all of that means, but they don't address anything on the show. When the record's scratched and this starts putting up, I screamed because I thought we were cutting ahead to actually 8 weeks later, and we had picked up cameras and started filming unbeknownst to me. And so I then got really pissed when that was not the case. I thought we were getting Scandival-esque, pick up the cameras. It is like, here's what happened. You, the audience, are now being time jumped in to when this all broke down, even if it's just a one-on-one interview with Janae, if it is a couple of cast members, whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be scenes of them hanging out. Like, I don't need that. But I thought we were getting something so different, and shame on me because I got my hopes up that like we were actually going to follow up on this, and instead it was just womp womp, they broke up and we're not going to tell you why.
Yeah. It was, I felt like we would have known if they had picked up cameras, so I didn't expect it. But yeah, I did. I had a moment of like hope, like, oh, did they?
I thought so too, but I truly was just like, oh my God, Peacock, like so sneaky. I didn't know, but no.
And then it just went back to, okay, well, don't want to miss your flight. Goodbye. And
Hated
that's kind of the end of that.
I hated it. Really, really did. We get a little bit more throughout the rest of the episode. The episode really ends with some voiceover montages, primarily by Aaron, who's saying that like people are chasing opportunity and money, and that's probably not the best thing to be chasing, which is really ironic on a show that was only made to follow the lives of really popular contestants chasing their social media dreams. Like, is the show not aware of what the show is? Because it feels like it's dragging itself sometimes.
Aaron, you're on your 3rd reality TV show. What do you mean people are chasing fame and money and that's not the best thing to chase? That's what you're doing right now.
But it also feels like the show, in editing it this way, it feels like the show is dragging their most popular stars. Like, it feels like it's talking about PPG, and then obviously Kendall, Liv, Kaylor, etc. Like, they're still trying to do the same thing, but there have been implications over and over throughout the seasons of there are the really popular people who have got all the brand deals and got everything, and I am not them. Some people are not them. So I'm surprised that the show seems a little confused on what it is at best.
Yeah, I feel like the show has a slight identity crisis because it could not exist without these people who are like chasing public opportunities. And so I'm like, well, like, do you hate yourself? Do you hate regular Love Island? Because like, what do you mean?
Well, it's just like the message Aaron is giving is chasing all of this and continuing to try to live in this world is bad, but the show is furthering their life of living in this world and like showcasing it. So I thought that was like it's a weird tonal thing that I
Yeah.
think they need to figure out. Because I guess that can kind of work where if like the stars of your show are not in on the joke and we're like, nudging each other watching them, but I don't feel like the people on the show are necessarily fully committed enough for that to work either.
Yeah, exactly. We do get, Leah says happiness is being with loved ones and animals. Kenny, this is where it's interesting. Kenny says happiness is coming to terms with who he is as a person. What does that mean?
I don't want to touch that one.
Like
Like,
it's such a even if we had never found out what was going on, even if to us Kenny and Jenny were together and happy right now, which of course they're not,
yep.
I still think someone saying that, I'm like,
There was the stuff of like, does he miss his old job? Does he like influencing? So I guess
yeah.
generously we can put it there, but I'm still, I
It's
don't know.
whatever he meant, it was a weird way to say it. And we don't need to say anything more than that. Janae's like, it's seeing my friends and loved ones content. And she's like, is that corny? Ha ha ha, which I thought was very cute.
Janae's a little corny sometimes, and that's fine.
Yeah. And we love her for it. Liv says it's having a backbone, which is another one where I'm kind of like, what do you
I
mean
feel
by
like
that?
they tried to make it like, what is your lesson from the season? What did you take away? What did you learn? Like, what's on theme for your season? And they kind of like forced it into what is happiness?
Yeah, that makes sense. But even still, I'm like, having a backbone is not really something Liv's ever struggled with. Like her whole thing has kind of always been standing on business. So it's just
Yep.
like a little odd, but okay. Um Serena says making my supporters happy makes me happy, which is very sweet little politician answer from her.
It's cute. And I think that you have to include your friends and family in that list of supporters for it to be
Yeah,
like fully cute. But I think she does.
I agree. Yes. And it kind of ends off with Kaylor saying, I don't know what happiness is because I'm not that happy right now, but I'm working on it.
Yep.
Tough look for our guy Torin.
I think that he is one of the only parts that is seemingly making her happier. Maybe he's the working on it portion. The relationship is still going present day, correct?
As far as I know, but let me
So
do a
we don't
quick.
expect to see Kaylor on Love Island Games season 2.
I don't think so
Do you
because
think we could see anyone from this cast on Love Island Games?
I mean they seem willing. Oh no, so Connor's in a relationship with
Yep.
Carmen, so he will not be there. I could see Aaron being on Love Island Games.
He's kind of the only one, right?
I
Like,
Kendall, I think I could see Kendall.
I could see Kendall. Actually, that's a really good call. He does seem down for pretty much any and all opportunities. So Kendall's probably the best answer on the board.
Yeah, I think Kendall is almost a lock just because there's not that many season 6 people who are well known that are single, right? I could see Janae being on Love Island Games.
I think it's too soon.
I saw an interview with Janae recently where she said,
No.
one of my biggest strengths is how good I am at moving on. And I could see that as being like, she goes on Love Island Games, not necessarily to find a new relationship, but, make a little more money, get some more followers, and also force Kenny to have to see her on TV 5 days a
If
week.
she goes on Love Island Games, she should demand a lot of money.
Yes, absolutely. She
Yep.
should take a huge amount of money
Yep.
to do it.
Up that salary.
Exactly.
She's so popular already. She does not need the show right now.
She doesn't need it, but she wants to be double rich. So
Mm-hmm.
I could
Double
see it
rich.
happening. I think Kendall is much more of a lock.
It's gettable.
Like much more gettable. I could see Aaron doing it, and if Aaron goes on Love Island Games, I will be prepared to just straight up say he's a hypocrite.
Let's see. Let's see who the
Like
cast is
I'll wait and
first.
see. Like we have given him a lot of benefit of the doubt given his like year in nature and like kind of pulling back
Sure.
from all the stuff. But also like he's doing his year in nature and guess what he's doing? Posting fucking TikToks about it. So who's not chasing social media cloud here? Come
Well,
on.
maybe this was them priming us to see Cassidy on Love Island games. It honestly feels, why not?
Yeah, I mean, if they want people from season 6, they're gonna have to go kind of deep in the roster because a lot of the well-known characters are in relationships
Yeah.
or will be way too expensive. They could afford Cassidy.
I don't think that Rob will do it either, having just done Traders.
Yeah, I think that but again, we've never seen Rob say no to an opportunity except for this
That we know
one.
of. That we know of.
Except for
Except for this one, indeed.
Beyond the Villa.
So we'll see.
So we'll see. I think Rob would be very compelling on Love Island games. Like
I
that, it's
don't
like
disagree.
it's the type of atmosphere where it's like, yeah, that's where he thrives.
All right. I got one more question for you, unless you have anything else from this season as a whole.
No, I shoot the question.
All right. We've talked about it. We've, batted it around. What does Love Island Beyond the Villa season 2 look like for you, ideally?
Okay. I think Love Island Beyond the Villa season 2, they need to bring in more people from different seasons of Love Island, and they need to have a forced event every week where all of the people get together. And I think if they do those two things, it could be very compelling. I think some of the like I enjoyed the season fine. I don't think it was horrible by any means, but I think that some of the episodes lacked a bit of drama because it is all this one group of people who do know each other very well, and some of them weren't willing to have their drama play out on the show. And so we need to kind of make like an kind of an artificial friend group where they will like get into fights because they don't know or understand each other and
Yep.
then force them together.
Yeah, I think we need to mix things up. I just don't think that this cast is going to play ball. If
Yeah.
you just bring them back, it's not going to happen. They're not going to fight. They're not going to
No.
open up on camera necessarily in the same way that other people will be willing to. I need people who are going to be messy on next season.
Yes.
So whether that is, you can have like PPG plus the messy people, but those messy people can't just always be Kaylor and Aaron over and over.
Yes.
So bring in some new people.
Like I'm imagining, like I feel like Cassie from she was season 5 and 6.
Season 5 and 6, that's true.
Cassie could be there. I think that like so season 7 feel because they don't really seem to like each other is a lot more dramatic. Like I think you could pull like 3 or 4 random people from season 7 and it would interject a lot of drama. Though of course there are like if they bring Huda back, she will have fights with people, period.
Mm-hmm.
If they bring like Ace and Shelly are willing to like have confrontations with people, even like Ace was saying stuff on a podcast yesterday about his so-called friends. So
I
like
was seeing that Ace and Nick no longer friends, it seems like.
Yeah, like I feel like Ace and Shelly would be very well placed on a Beyond the Villa because they are like they're willing to fight.
Yeah, I think people might be worried it's
fight
going
is
to be
the
a little
wrong
bit.
word.
They're willing to like engage with the show in a
Yes.
way that these people are not.
Mhm.
I would say people already speculate that they produced season 7 too much, so I think there would be a little bit of a concern for if they would produce storylines on a show like Beyond the Villa, which I think is an issue on other lifestyle reality shows, but I'd be willing to take the chance. I think that they would be fun personalities and also willing to like actually open up and give the camera something.
100%. Is it controversial if I say I don't really care if they manufacture storylines a little
You can
bit?
manufacture them as long as I can't see the strings, and most of these peoples are not actors for a reason, so I can pretty easily see the strings a lot.
Okay, fair. Yes.
Yep.
That's extremely fair. Yeah, I think bringing in even just like 2 season 7 people or like 2 or 3, it would interject like just people being willing to play ball. Like I can see like Huda and Liv getting in a fight.
I
You
could
know?
definitely see that. And I think it also like remove a couple cast members from this season. Like you're not
Mhm.
safe. You do not have this job locked,
Yeah.
you know. So we'll see.
Like I don't care to see Aaron again if
We
he's
know.
going to continue to. No, but like if he was willing to just like admit what he's doing.
Mhm.
But the fact that it all culminated in him basically being like, and I'm better than everyone else because I'm not chasing these opportunities. You're on a show chasing an opportunity. Like, stop lying to me. So if he's not gonna just accept that he's just as bad as everyone else, then he can go.
Yeah.
Connor can stay if he brings Carmen. Although I
That
don't
I
know if
agree
she
with.
would
It'd be fun.
I don't know if she would fight or not or like engage, but I think she would at least be like open to the show, and she was like pretty messy on Love Island.
Agreed.
So
She was gossipy. It was fun.
yeah.
Let her engage.
Yeah. Who would you
Where
cut?
okay. Who would I cut?
Yeah.
I would be I'm gonna be brave and say I would cut Kenny. So
Wow, you are so brave.
I will leave it at I would rather watch people who are willing to engage and be messy than people that I liked on their original Love Island season. So if you're not bringing it and we don't want to open up, I don't really need you back next time, unfortunately.
And you're right, except for PPG, I don't care. They can come on and be kumbaya with each other every single episode, but just make them go to the parties with everyone else.
That like as
That,
long as they're doing everything, then
yeah,
I'm okay.
that's how I feel too.
Yeah.
But okay, do you have anything else about Love Island Beyond the Villa season 1?
No, I'm excited for when season 2 100% happens and definitely premieres. So very excited. Otherwise, I'm ready for Love Island games so soon.
Yes, Love Island games in 3 weeks. Less than 2.5 weeks. Yeah, I mean, I think that there actually are decent chances of a second season of Love Island Beyond the Villa. Love
I can
Island
see
is
it.
just so huge, and I don't think it probably cost Peacock that much to produce the show. And why not extend Love Island supremacy a little bit further into the year? Like I do
There
think
you
there's a
go.
good chance it will come back. But yeah, that is it for Love Island Beyond the Villa season 1. The next Love Island, of course, will be Love Island Games starting September 16th. We don't actually have confirmation if we're covering it or not, but I'm going to assume that we will be. So we'll see you for Love Island Games. Scally, where else can the people find you?
People can find me on Twitter at Brian_Scally, on Blue Sky at Brian Scally, on Twitch at twitch.tv/bscally, or on the Free Agents Podcast Network, where myself and Matt Ligori are talking about the challenge new and old. So go find me over there.
Yes, absolutely. And you can follow me everywhere at Kirsten Said What. You can listen to Mess Magnets with myself and Sasha Joseph talking about pop culture, celebrity gossip, and trending topics. And if you like this podcast, if you want us to cover Love Island Games season 2, please go to weknowloveisland.com and give a little 5-star rating and review. And in the review, you can say, please, Rob, please let them cover Love Island Games. We want to see it happen. And then that actually will help us get that confirmed because they got to know that there's an appetite for it if they're going to
Do the
produce the
demand.
pods. And even just if you like the show and you've enjoyed all of our coverage through Love Island and Love Island Beyond the Villa, it really does help a lot if you could leave us a 5-star rating and review. We got over 250 over the course of just one summer, and that is a lot. And we deeply, deeply appreciate you all for that. And with that being said, we are done for the summer. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. And hopefully we'll see you for Love Island Games in just a couple of weeks. Until then, bye.